Are you ready to unlock the secrets to power and influence? The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene reveals the timeless strategies used by history's greatest leaders and influencers. In this video, we'll break down these laws one by one with real-life examples, practical tips, and actionable takeaways. Let's dive in. Law 1. Never outshine the master. Summary: always let your superiors feel superior. Real-life example. Nicolas Fouquet, the finance minister of France, threw an extravagant party to impress King Louis XIV, but ended up overshadowing him and paid the price with imprisonment. Takeaway: be strategic. Highlight the achievements of those above you to gain their favor. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Friends can become envious, entitled, or complacent, which might make them unreliable. On the other hand, former enemies have more to prove and can often become your most loyal allies. By being cautious with trust and strategically turning rivals into allies, you increase your influence and maintain balance. Example: during the Italian Renaissance, Cesare Borgia, a powerful leader, was known for his cunning strategies. He hired a former rival, Ramiro de Orco, to bring order to a rebellious province. Once de Orco completed his task, Borgia executed him publicly, ensuring loyalty from others who feared betrayal. By using a former enemy and then eliminating potential threats, Borgia solidified his control. In the workplace, don't automatically rely on colleagues you consider friends. Evaluate everyone's skills and potential objectively. Seek out a former critic to join your team. They might bring fresh perspectives and loyalty. In personal life, avoid assuming that friends will always have your best interests at heart. Sometimes resolving conflicts with someone you previously clashed with can create a stronger bond. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. If others can predict your plans, they can create obstacles or manipulate you. By keeping your true intentions hidden, you maintain control and keep others guessing. Use decoys, ambiguity, or misdirection to confuse and distract them from your real goals. Example: during World War II, the Allies used Operation Bodyguard, a deception campaign to mislead the Axis powers. They spread false intelligence suggesting they would attack Pas-de-Calais, while their true target was Normandy. This strategy confused the Germans, leading to the success of the D-Day invasion. Point 1. At work. If you're pursuing a promotion, don't broadcast your plans. Instead, focus on quietly improving your skills and building alliances. Point 2. In business. Launching a new product? Keep the details confidential to avoid giving competitors a chance to counter your moves. Point 3. In personal life. Don't always share your next steps or dreams with everyone. Sometimes it's better to surprise others with results. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. The more you speak, the more likely you are to reveal too much, appear foolish, or give others ammunition to use against you. By speaking less, you project power, mystery, and control, making others hang on to your every word. Silence often intimidates and commands respect. Example: King Louis XIV of France was famous for his brevity. When his ministers presented lengthy discussions, he would often reply with a simple phrase, "I shall see." His restraint made others nervous, forcing them to interpret his intentions, which gave him control in negotiations and governance. Point 1. At work. In meetings, speak only when you have something impactful to contribute. Silence can make your words seem more thoughtful and deliberate. Point 2. In arguments. Avoid over-explaining or defending yourself excessively. Silence can be more powerful than justification. Point 3. In relationships. Avoid revealing too much too quickly. Mystery can create intrigue and respect. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is the cornerstone of power. A strong reputation increases your influence and protects you from attacks. Conversely, a tarnished reputation can destroy your power and credibility. Always act to enhance your reputation and neutralize any threats to it. Example: Julius Caesar was meticulous about maintaining his reputation as a just and powerful leader. After victories, he shared the spoils with his soldiers and the public, which solidified his image as a benevolent ruler. His carefully cultivated reputation protected him from dissent and ensured his loyalty among both soldiers and citizens. Point 1. At work. Deliver on your promises and meet deadlines consistently to build a reputation as dependable. Point 2. In social media, be mindful of what you post and engage with online, as digital footprints shape public perception. Point 3. In business, address customer complaints quickly to protect your brand's reputation. Law 6. Court attention at all costs. To stay relevant and powerful, you must always be visible. Obscurity is the enemy of power. Draw attention to yourself through bold actions, unique ideas, or dramatic gestures. Even negative attention is better than being ignored. Example: Salvador Dalí, the famous surrealist artist, was known for his outrageous stunts and eccentric behavior. He once arrived at an art lecture in a Rolls-Royce filled with cauliflower to draw attention. While his art was extraordinary, his antics ensured that people never stopped talking about him, keeping his name in the spotlight. At work, volunteer for challenging projects or present ideas creatively during meetings to gain recognition. In personal branding, develop a unique style or approach that sets you apart from others in your field. In social media, post content that sparks curiosity or discussion to increase engagement and visibility. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Efficiency is key to maintaining power. By leveraging the knowledge, skills, and efforts of others, you can accomplish more without exhausting your own resources. However, ensure you position yourself as the mastermind to gain recognition and rewards. Example: Thomas Edison is celebrated as one of the greatest inventors in history, but many of his inventions were the result of the work of his employees and collaborators, including Nikola Tesla. Edison had the foresight to leverage their ideas and present himself as the innovator, solidifying his legacy as a genius. At work, delegate tasks to team members while guiding the overall strategy, ensuring credit for leadership. In business, partner with experts who can execute technical tasks while you focus on marketing and presenting the results. In personal life, collaborate on creative projects, but position yourself as the driving force behind the idea. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. People are more likely to seek you out if you create an aura of mystery or exclusivity. By drawing others to you, you gain the power to control the interaction and dictate the terms. This law revolves around making others come to you, rather than chasing after them. Example: in the world of business, Apple's Steve Jobs was a master of this law. By creating a brand that was synonymous with innovation and exclusivity, he made consumers come to Apple for products they couldn't find anywhere else. His marketing strategies and the unique design of the Apple ecosystem turned the brand into an irresistible bait that drew customers to him, rather than Jobs ever having to chase after them. At work, create an aura of expertise by positioning yourself as a valuable resource. Let others seek your advice or input instead of constantly offering it. In business, develop a brand or product that attracts customers organically. Utilize clever marketing that makes people feel they need to come to you for what they can't get elsewhere. In personal life, cultivate an air of mystery or intrigue in your social circle, making others pursue your company rather than you constantly chasing after them. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Actions speak louder than words. Rather than engaging in arguments or debates, focus on achieving results that demonstrate your superiority. Let your actions prove your point and lead to the desired outcome, while avoiding the unnecessary conflict that can damage relationships or your reputation. Example: one of the most famous examples is the rivalry between Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. Jobs, known for his persuasive and visionary talks, often avoided lengthy debates with his competitors. Instead, he let the innovation and success of Apple's products speak for themselves. The superior performance of Apple's products eventually showed the world that Jobs was right, without him having to engage in constant arguments. Demonstrate your value and superiority through tangible results rather than engaging in verbal disputes. Avoid getting caught in endless arguments, as actions will always carry more weight. At work, rather than getting into arguments about how to complete a project, focus on delivering high-quality results. Let the outcome speak for itself. In business, instead of defending your business strategy through endless debates, focus on executing it successfully and let your success validate your approach. In personal life, when faced with criticism or disagreements, focus on making improvements in your actions. Prove your worth through what you do, not what you say. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. The emotions and attitudes of others are contagious. Surround yourself with positive, successful people and avoid those who are consistently unhappy, unlucky, or negative. Their energy can drain you, pull you down, and damage your reputation or progress. Real-life example. Warren Buffett has always advocated for surrounding yourself with positive, productive people. He has famously stated that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. He understands that associating with negative or unlucky individuals can affect your mindset and decision-making, leading to bad outcomes. Buffett's choice of partners and advisors reflects this principle of avoiding negative energy. Surround yourself with optimistic and successful people to maintain your own energy and positivity. Negative people can pull you down, affecting your reputation and your success. At work, if you're part of a team, align yourself with motivated colleagues who are solution-oriented. Avoid getting drawn into the negativity of complainers or pessimists. In business, work with partners and clients who are ambitious and forward-thinking. Steer clear of individuals who bring pessimism or failure with them. In personal life, choose friends who uplift and inspire you. If you notice certain people consistently draining your energy with negativity, it's wise to distance yourself. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. The more you make others rely on you, the more power you hold over them. By offering something they cannot easily replace or replicate, you ensure that your position remains strong and unchallenged. People are unlikely to undermine you if they need you for success or survival. Real-life example. One notable example of this law is the relationship between Rockefeller and his employees during the rise of Standard Oil. Rockefeller ensured that his employees were heavily dependent on the company for their livelihoods and professional success. By controlling the key resources and creating a sense of reliance, he solidified his power and maintained loyalty from his workforce. Position yourself as indispensable by offering unique value that others cannot easily replace. Maintain control over key aspects that others rely on for their success or survival. At work, become the go-to expert in your field or department. Offer insights and solutions that no one else can provide, making yourself invaluable to the team or company. In business, develop a product, service, or relationship that is so valuable that clients or partners have no choice but to rely on you for their continued success. In personal life, cultivate unique skills or insights that make others look to you for guidance or support, ensuring that you are seen as indispensable. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. A well-timed act of honesty or generosity can disarm suspicion and make others more vulnerable to your influence. By showing a small amount of sincerity, you can gain trust and lower defenses, which allows you to manipulate the situation to your advantage. Real-life example. One example of this law is seen in the actions of the famous con artist, Charles Ponzi, who used selective honesty to manipulate people. Ponzi initially gained trust by being honest about certain aspects of his business and offering a few generous returns to early investors. This built a sense of credibility and goodwill, which he later exploited to convince more people to invest, ultimately leading to one of the most infamous financial scams. A small act of honesty or generosity can make others let down their guard, enabling you to gain their trust and manipulate the situation to your advantage. Use honesty strategically to foster trust, but keep your true motives hidden. At work, be generous with praise or helpful when necessary, but use it strategically to gain the trust and support of your colleagues or superiors. In business, offer a small freebie, discount, or gesture of goodwill to potential clients or partners to create goodwill and build a long-term, trusting relationship. In personal life, use honesty and generosity to create an impression of reliability and goodwill, making others more inclined to do favors or support your goals. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. People are more likely to help you if they see a direct benefit for themselves. Instead of appealing to their sense of kindness or gratitude, frame your request in a way that highlights what they stand to gain. This approach is much more effective in getting the help you need. Real-life example. When Benjamin Franklin was a young politician, he used this law to his advantage. At one point, he needed a favor from a fellow legislator, but recognized that simply asking for help out of goodwill might not work. Instead, Franklin asked the legislator to lend him a book, a small favor that required little effort, but created a sense of indebtedness. This act of giving the legislator something, however small, allowed Franklin to later request larger favors, and it worked because he had appealed to the legislator's self-interest. Frame your requests in a way that shows how the other person will benefit, rather than appealing to their kindness or sense of duty. People are more motivated by what they can gain from helping you than by a sense of gratitude or moral obligation. At work, if you need help from a colleague, emphasize how assisting you will help them advance their own goals, whether it's career-related or a shared work objective. In business, when negotiating, show how your partnership or product can be beneficial to your potential client or partner's success. Make it clear what they stand to gain. In personal life, when asking someone for a favor, point out how it will be beneficial to them or fit into their own needs or desires, rather than simply relying on their goodwill. Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Gain valuable information by posing as a friend while secretly gathering intel. Earning trust allows you to learn secrets without suspicion. Example. Cardinal Richelieu, a key minister in France, posed as a friend to gather political secrets, using the info to strengthen the monarchy. Be friendly to gather insights while hiding your true motives. Use the information to your advantage without revealing your intentions. At work, form close relationships to understand colleagues' strengths and weaknesses for strategic advantage. In business, learn competitors' strategies or client needs without exposing your own plans. In personal life, observe and gather information to navigate social dynamics effectively. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. Leave no chance for your enemies to recover. Once you've defeated them, ensure they are completely incapacitated so they can't strike back later. For example, in history, Napoleon Bonaparte employed this strategy in his military campaigns. After defeating an enemy army, He would ensure they were totally destroyed to prevent them from regrouping and retaliating in the future. Never leave your enemies the opportunity to recover. Finish them off completely. Total defeat guarantees that your power remains unchallenged. At work, if you're competing for a promotion, ensure that your success leaves no doubt, securing your position beyond challenge. In business, when eliminating a competitor, make sure they cannot recover by outcompeting them completely. In personal life, if resolving conflicts, ensure that the issue is settled once and for all, preventing future problems. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Too much presence can lead to diminishing value. By creating strategic absence, you can increase your importance and make people respect and desire your presence more. For example, Mahatma Gandhi used this strategy effectively during India's struggle for independence. By occasionally withdrawing from public view, he created a sense of longing and reverence, increasing his influence and authority when he reappeared. Be selective about when and how often you show up to avoid becoming too predictable or common. Your absence can make people respect you more and make your presence more impactful. At work, don't always be available. Occasionally step back to allow others to feel the impact of your presence when you return. In business, limit your availability to create demand and make clients or partners value your time and services more. In personal life, don't always be present at social gatherings. Your absence can increase your importance and make your presence more cherished. Law 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. People are easier to control when they can't predict your actions. By being unpredictable and creating an aura of mystery, you keep others on edge and maintain an advantage over them. Example: in history, King Louis XIV of France maintained control by always keeping his courtiers guessing with unpredictable behavior. His erratic decisions ensured that people were always unsure of what to expect, which strengthened his authority. By being unpredictable, you make others cautious and hesitant, allowing you to maintain control. Cultivate mystery to keep people on their toes and prevent them from undermining you. At work, don't always follow a predictable routine. Throw in a few surprises to keep your colleagues alert and aware of your influence. In business, be unpredictable in negotiations or product launches to keep competitors and clients guessing and off balance. In personal life, don't always be predictable in your actions or reactions. A little mystery keeps people intrigued and engaged. Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. Isolation can make you vulnerable. Rather than building walls around yourself, stay connected and keep your network strong. A fortress may protect you temporarily, but it also isolates you from valuable information and allies. Example: when Richard Nixon became President of the United States, he built an inner circle of advisors and kept others at a distance. Over time, his isolation led to distrust, culminating in the Watergate scandal. His disconnection from the broader political landscape contributed to his downfall. Avoid isolating yourself. Build strong connections to maintain power and stay informed. Isolation can leave you out of touch and vulnerable to attack. At work, don't retreat into your office. Stay connected with colleagues and other departments to stay informed and maintain influence. In business, maintain strong relationships with industry peers, customers, and partners rather than isolating yourself in a bubble. In personal life, keep a broad social network and avoid withdrawing from relationships, as isolation weakens your position in both personal and professional matters. Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Not everyone reacts the same way to provocation. Understand the personalities of those around you and be cautious about whom you challenge or offend. One wrong move can lead to irreversible consequences. Example: in the 18th century, French diplomat Talleyrand was known for understanding who he could manipulate and who should be approached with caution. He never offended those who could retaliate, knowing how to maintain power by keeping the wrong people on his side. Learn about the people you interact with and their triggers before engaging in any conflict. Know who you can challenge and who could cause you significant harm if provoked. At work, be aware of the personalities of your superiors and colleagues. Avoid challenging those who hold significant power or influence over your career. In business, understand your clients and competitors, and be careful not to offend influential figures who could damage your reputation or business. In personal life, choose your battles wisely, and be careful not to offend those who could retaliate or disrupt your personal life. Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. Avoid making permanent commitments or becoming too loyal to any single individual or cause. By staying independent and flexible, you avoid being controlled or dragged into conflicts that don't serve your interests. Keeping your options open allows you to pivot when necessary and maintain power. For example, Louis XIII of France avoided full commitment to political or military alliances. By not committing to any one group, he kept his options open and preserved his independence, allowing him to navigate the complex and ever-changing political landscape of France at the time. This flexibility helped him maintain power in a highly volatile environment. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. Sometimes, the best way to manipulate a situation is to appear less intelligent or capable than you actually are. This makes others underestimate you, giving you the opportunity to gain the upper hand. By letting others think they are smarter, you disarm them and can control the situation. For example, P.T. Barnum, the famous American showman, often played the role of a sucker in order to manipulate public perception. He would act foolishly or use simple tricks to make people believe they were smarter or more sophisticated. This allowed Barnum to control the narrative and pull off elaborate scams, eventually building his fortune and reputation as a master of manipulation. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. Sometimes surrendering or retreating can be a strategic move. By yielding in one situation, you allow your enemy to think they have won. This tactic can conserve your strength for a later attack or help you gain a more advantageous position, making your eventual strike much stronger. For example, during the American Revolution, General George Washington often used the tactic of retreating to preserve his army. At the Battle of Long Island, when Washington faced overwhelming British forces, he strategically withdrew to save his men. This allowed him to regroup and later launch more successful campaigns, ultimately leading to the American victory. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Instead of spreading your resources thin, focus them on one or two critical areas to maximize their impact. Concentrating your power and efforts at a decisive point allows you to overwhelm your opponents and achieve success more quickly. Dispersing your energy weakens your ability to make a strong impact. Example: Napoleon Bonaparte was a master of this tactic. At the Battle of Austerlitz, he concentrated his forces on the enemy's weakest point, which allowed him to decisively defeat a larger, more powerful coalition. By focusing his resources and strategy on one point, he was able to overcome the odds and secure victory. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. The perfect courtier excels in social situations, mastering the art of charm, tact, and flattery. By making others feel superior and supporting their needs, they subtly position themselves to gain favor and power. They know how to navigate the complexities of court life and secure influence behind the scenes. Example: Cardinal Richelieu, the chief minister to Louis XIII of France, was a perfect example of a skilled courtier. He knew how to navigate the delicate balance of serving the king while quietly consolidating his own power. By gaining the trust and favor of the king and other important figures, Richelieu was able to influence French politics for many years, making himself indispensable to the monarchy. And that wraps up part 1 of our journey through the 48 laws of power, where we've uncovered laws 1 to 24. These strategies have been used by some of the most powerful and influential figures in history, helping them stay ahead in the game. We've learned how to play it smart, stay unpredictable, and outmaneuver others, all key to building power in any situation. But don't worry, the story's not over yet. In the next part, we'll dive into laws 25 to 48. And trust me, there are even more game-changing insights to help you level up your power and influence. So stay tuned for the next round, and let's continue unlocking the secrets to mastering life's most important battles.